Hello and good evening. You're joining me here today as we review this 2013 BMW 328i luxury trim. This is mine actually. I've owned it for just over 6 months and I want to give you a little bit of an insight on it, inside and outside, and what I think about it, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Since we're on the outside, let's start with how it looks. You may have noticed that it is not an M Sport trim, and that's actually because I personally don't like the M Sport trim because there's too many of them around, and I wanted something that's a bit more understated, that I can just go in traffic and people won't think, this is one of those racer boys. So personally, I think it looks great. It's classy, a little bit sporty, but not too much. The rims are black and that's been painted, but otherwise everything else is stock, and I think it's just right. BMW really knocked it out of the park when they did the F30, and I'm really glad. Now, as you look at the back of the car, this is personally my favorite part of the car because it looks great. It's not too striking and it's not too boring. It's just nice. People look at it and be like, oh, it's a nice looking car, and that's enough for me. As is the pre-LCI, these twin tailpipes mean that it's a 328i. The 316i and the 320i, those are only single tailpipes. For the rear seats, well, not much to complain about here. This is in my driving position and I've got more than enough legroom. I've got rear aircon vents here, I've got cup holders here. So, well, personally, you can't really fit anyone here in the middle. But if you're fitting 4 people, it'll take you around in more than adequate comfort. So, it's fine. Now, this is where things are not all a bed of roses. So yes, some of you would be like, but this is a BMW. Isn't it supposed to be the ultimate driving machine? Well, yes, and I do love driving it, but it's not perfect. There's a lot of things I feel they could have done a lot better. For example, many of you have heard of the sticky door handles, which are not just here, but it's also at the volume controls and the climate control. So when it becomes a little hot, these things become horribly sticky and will stick to your fingers. Another thing is, I have no idea how loud or soft it is in the sound system right now. And yes, I have volume controls here. I've got volume controls on the steering wheel, but I've got nothing here that shows me how loud or soft the car is. Now, let me show you. As you can see, look, I'm adjusting this. Nothing. Adjust here. Nothing. So the only way you can tell how loud or soft it is actually by listening to it, which is quite annoying, because, come on, is it that hard to just put a little volume knob that shows what number it's on? Alright, now we get to my favorite part of the video, driving it. Now, driving this car on a daily basis, well, it's fine. It's wonderful actually. It gets you from point A to point B with no issue. I mean, the signal lights work. I mean, not that I would know, but is that actually why you'd buy a BMW? This is why. It's so addicting. I mean, it drives normally fine, but when you go fast and you just try to have fun with the car, it's wonderful. The handling is so predictable and it's so sharp. I know a lot of people have said, oh, the F30 was so bland compared to the E90, but I disagree. It's wonderful. Like, I can just take corners at like nobody's business, and it just does it, and you know exactly where the car is gonna go. It's so fun, so engaging, and it's so addicting, honestly. Like, but there's one big problem actually. A lot of the time you don't realize how fast you're actually going, and then it can cause for a few problems. Like sometimes, especially when I'm going on the highway, especially when I'm in Mexico, and I'm driving this car, and you'll be doing like 160, 180, and you won't even realize that you're going so fast because it's so stable. So yeah, wonderful. So what do I think? Well, if you were to ask me, would I go ahead and buy a second-hand BMW? I'll tell you in 1 second. Yes, I would. And the reason for that is simple. What you get, it's literally unmatched. So if you want to do it, if you want to buy secondhand BMW or any car that you desire, do it. I mean, do your due diligence and be prepared, just in case anything happens. But if you have the means and you can afford to, just do it. Thanks for watching.